What's good with y'all chosen family? I hope all is well with y'all. But what I want to talk about today is, you know, the awareness. You know, so your awareness family is so powerful because a lot of people fail to realize that they do things that they really don't enjoy doing, family. You know, but yet they don't have the mental strength to break through any optical illusions that are binding them to this physical reality. Family. So your awareness, y'all. Your awareness is everything to do with you, y'all. You know, for example, you know, if you're someone who smokes, y'all, well, you understand that when you do smoke, y'all, your awareness rises, and that's why when people who have smoked weed before and they stop, it changes who they once were. They look at life deeper. They find a better reason to live. There's a reason why everybody wants to post or show that they have glowing up after smoking. But in reality, y'all, it's the information that the weed was fusing inside of you, y'all. So when you fuse your spirit with the plant, it forces you to take in information, y'all, that you may not be aware of or you don't remember anymore. So that's exactly why people get aware. And their minds mature at a young age if they partake in shit like that at young. But I want to talk to you about sober awareness, y'all. Let's talk about that sober awareness, y'all, because, you know, sobriety, y'all, is a blessing, y'all. A lot of people, y'all, they can't be sober for a long time. Sober is powerful because you're who you really are, who you say you are, and you just feel a feeling that nothing else in this world can give you when you know that you're not running away from yourself. Weed is not necessarily bad. Alcohol, it has its pros and its cons. But what you need to understand is that family, your awareness, use your awareness, yo, like your best friend, because your best friend is somebody that's gonna remind you what the fuck's going on around you, y'all. The devil, he's a disguise, y'all. It's not something that you see. A devil can be anything. It can cause you to see hallucinations or see illusions, y'all, that's gonna trick your mind from doing what you are meant to do in this reality, y'all. I promise you right now, y'all, that every single body in this universe, world, everybody was born with purpose, y'all. Some people just don't act out of it because they don't have potential in them that they see. That really hurts, just to say that alone, that some people don't give a fuck about who they can become in the future, y'all, because they feel like life has humbled them already for them to tap out like this. You don't want to be that like them, family. Not because they chose to give up or to let it be, but because you want to have a reason for life, y'all. Life gives you the ability to breathe and, experience this reality. So do something with that time, y'all, because we're not here forever. But we are here to implant things that give the world change, which is light, y'all. You're removing darkness daily by the minute. Every fucking day you shine out here, family. So keep shining that light, yo, because it is needed in this war, family. The war was all about the light versus the dark, family. Because they want you operating from the dark side, but yet they want to trick your mind to think that you are acting out of light, so you can keep acting dark, y'all. It's a war that's been going on for eons, family, but you must realize what the fuck you are living in to fully embrace this change, But yeah, family, remember, y'all, we are the ones that have lived in darkness for so long that we rehabilitated ourselves, y'all. We realized that we weren't going to get anywhere, y'all, if we didn't choose to work on ourselves. So the Most High gave us everything we wanted, If you eventually ask the universe, yo, that you want to go into the right path, that you want to feel who you're meant to be, that you truly want self-love, right? The universe will put you in the right place to get what it is you're seeking. But But you must show the universe you are doing the right things that should be done as the way you should live. You should live with no negativity attached to you. You should live knowing that you're embracing and expecting change, yo. You know, change isn't easy, yo. That's why many motherfuckers can't change on their own, yo. It takes something drastically like loss to change somebody, because then they realize that they weren't worth shit. So they build their worth, yo. But it's not that you weren't worth nothing. People didn't see you as somebody who was worthy in this world, because the world has showed you what the fuck something should be, which is, you know, fame, popularity, spotlight. You know, the world taught y'all that bullshit. It's like teaching a baby how to walk when the baby, you know, shouldn't be walking at the moment if he hasn't even learned to crawl, you know. You must let nature and fate run its course, yo. You can't be the one always trying to, you know, go against your reality. Say things are not working out for you. Say you have affirmed things. Or people, you know, they don't see what you see, right? That's the universe showing you that many people in this world are not like you. That's why you are a gemstone. That's why you are one out of a million, yo. And the universe has gave you this knowledge exactly, specifically. Only you, chosen one, because not only can you handle the truth, you're someone that's gonna take it, use it like fire or gasoline, and make you stronger in the world, because the world is missing strength, yo. Women, they crave masculinity. They want somebody who's a warrior, but is not gonna speak on that, because you don't need to say you're a warrior, yo. Your presence is felt by many. You know, you got the spirit of the angels or the gods, because you have showed the universe, yo, that the steps that they put you in, you walked in them without letting yourself take over, you know. So be proud of yourself, chosen one, because that takes discipline. That takes maturity, y'all. Maturity is a fortune in this world, yo, because people don't realize what they are living or what they are doing until they mature from who they once were. You know, family? But that's what the power of awareness will do for you, chosen one. When you're aware, y'all, you realize that the decisions that are hitting your brain, yo, you know what's good and what's not. So you're gonna choose to act out on it without thinking about it too deeply, yo. You know, I advise you, if you smoke a lot of weed, or you drink a lot, or you do other things that you aren't proud of, that you feel like is holding you back, I'm gonna tell you right now, family, the best thing to do is be sober. Make sure your seed is healthy. Make sure it's wise. Make sure it's clean. You know, when you smoke a lot of weed, yo, or when you drink a lot, what you will notice is that you will sense a decrease in your confidence, or just you feeling disconnected, because you're not gonna want to be around nobody. You're gonna feel like you want to be more alone, because you want to tap into a higher frequency that people can't relate to. I understand it, but it's gonna force you to disconnect from people and places when you need to help the world, not shy from the world, you know, family. But this will help you when you are ready to choose that path, yo. Not many people can choose it quick, because, you know, the hardest thing to, let's just say, conquer or slander is boredom, yo. People can't handle boredom, yo. That's why they need to be around people. That's why they want attention. That's why motherfuckers can't live in darkness, you know, because they don't have a light that is needed for them to feel amazing. It's actually sad, yo, but I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I want you to remind y'all that, remember this: you have that light, yo, that the world is missing. So when you go around, that's exactly why all eyes look your way. You may not like it, or you may like it, but don't abuse your power. Just know that the power was given to you because you respect yourself. You love the glow. You love looking like you are a diamond, and you absolutely are a diamond, y'all. Though the world knows it already. The world knows it already about you, family. But you must show the world who you can be when they're not watching, you know. But I broke it down to y'all in a strong ass way, but a way that where you can understand it more so clearly, you know, family. You know, nothing's better than a sober mind. and somebody who can control their lust, because you operate like a king, yo, because you treat yourself with royalty, yo. You feel like a king that wants to give love to the world, yo, but you must realize that the world don't value that no more, yo, because the world destroyed love by destroying you within, you know? Now that you know that, you know the enemy and why you must protect your energy. But this was a video, family, and I hope y'all enjoyed this, because this is some deep ass shit that I'm telling y'all, family. You know, they don't want you to be aware. They want you to be lost, foggy in the brain, begging and chasing for something, but you don't need nothing, because everything exists within you, chosen one. I show you.